Did you know that ChatGPT 5 needs to be prompted differently? And if you're still prompting it like you did with ChatGPT 4.0, it's the reason you're not getting the responses that you want. Or maybe you didn't realize that they upgraded and changed the memory feature, and you're gonna need to re-enable it and make sure it's set up correctly. Those two things are absolutely nothing, because by the end of this video, you're gonna know about 5 brand new ChatGPT settings and features that you need to make sure are turned on and are enabled in order for you to get 10x better replies from ChatGPT. Now, change number 1 is that ChatGPT 5 cannot be prompted the same way as regular ChatGPT. So if we come over here, we come into the settings, you are now going to see under here, show additional models. If I click on this right here, you'll see that it will now show me all the legacy models. Legacy GPT 4.0, which needs to be prompted differently, and you could literally just ask it anything as opposed to GPT-5. If you're going to be thinking with GPT-5, you need to make sure that you're following this prompt guideline right here because it has agentic workflow and a bunch of other things enabled here. Now, if we scroll through this is incredibly long. I don't want you to waste your time going through this unless you actually want to. Instead, I wanted to show you this right here, and I'm going to put the link to this in the description. It's literally 100% free. It is by OpenAI, and what this is a prompt optimizer for GPT-5. So essentially, you can come over here and you can say, make me a script for a TikTok video about AI agents. And then if we click on optimize right here, what this is going to do is this is literally going to go through, this is going to optimize the prompt. And my favorite thing about this is that it will literally tell you everything that you did wrong in your prompt. So if we come over here, we could see that this went through and we could go through the review changes. So right here, this goes through, it tells us the correct way to actually prompt this, and it gives us the reasoning behind each of these different changes. Now, if we just wanted to see best practices, again, we could come over here and see this, but I would strongly suggest that you just use this prompt optimizer tool here, because this literally turns your beginner prompts into expert level prompts so that you can get the most out of ChatGPT in just a few seconds. Now, if you did want to make this a little bit easier on yourself and you didn't want to come over here and use this prompt optimizer every single time you go to prompt ChatGPT, what you could do is take a screenshot of what I have up on the screen right now, and I'm literally going to show you how to use this. So if we come over here, we could grab this right here. Then we can open up a ChatGPT window, and you could take this screenshot right here and then say, apply this to the following prompt to optimize it. And then we can come over here and say, I want you to write a script for a TikTok video. Now, what this is going to do is apply this prompt structure right here to the new prompt, and this is literally going to go through and optimize your prompt so that you have a perfect prompt, and it even gives you a final optimized prompt. Now, what you could do is set this up as a project if you wanted to, so you can always refer back to that, and basically, you just created the prompt optimizer inside of ChatGPT, so you don't have to keep going to this website. Now, this next setting I would strongly suggest that you turn on is going to seem like it's a small setting, but this makes a massive difference in how good ChatGPT actually is. So if you come into your settings, come under general, you're now going to see this right here. Show follow-up suggestions in chat. You want to make sure you have this turned on right here. And essentially what this is going to do is this is going to have ChatGPT and with suggestions every single time that it tells you something. So for example, I asked it right here to apply this to this prompt right here, and then at the end it gives us a reply, and then it says, do you want to go ahead and generate the sample TikTok script for you with this optimized prompt, or do you just want the framework right now? Basically, this is going to keep prompting you with new suggestions and ways for you to be able to continue the conversation with ChatGPT. Personally, I've found this, although it's a small setting, this makes a massive difference in the workflow of actually using ChatGPT, because it's constantly now suggesting new things for us to think about, new things for us to talk about, and this makes it just way easier to use, especially if you're using voice mode with ChatGPT. Now, before I get into those 3 other settings and changes, and they're only going to keep getting more and more important, I need you to smash that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date on the latest and greatest changes in AI. I upload videos like this every single day, and you're not going to want to miss them. Now, the third feature and setting that we need to talk about is actually something that's kind of invisible on ChatGPT, and that's going to be context windows. So I want to explain this to you as simply as humanly possible. ChatGPT 5 has a context window of 200K tokens. What does that mean? 100 tokens is around 75 words, and a few places places where this could actually get hairy. One, if you input large files or a large document, obviously there's going to be a lot of words in there. It's going to take up a lot of tokens, and then it's going to fill up that context window inside of ChatGPT. In just a second, I'm going to tell you why this matters. Secondly, is not limiting ChatGPT 5's responses or making them concise. Again, this is why you want to be very specific with what kind of output ChatGPT is giving you. Otherwise, it may be giving you a bunch of random crap and just taking up the context window. And as a result, you're actually getting worse replies and worse results from ChatGPT as a result of you not forcing it to be concise and it just rambling on and on and on as an unintelligent person would do. Third is using one chat window for everything, because essentially what might be happening, if you're only using one chat window for everything, you might actually be exceeding the context window, and then ChatGPT is forgetting things. So let me actually go through and give you a visual explanation of this, thinking about this as a sheet of paper. So I wanted you to think about it like this. If you had one sheet of paper and you and somebody else, aka ChatGPT, had to actually reply back to each other on that sheet of paper, here's how it would work. In the beginning, you'd have a blank sheet of paper. Person A would then begin writing on it, and then responses are going to start filling that up. So person A is going to be writing things. Person B is going to be responding. Then person A is going to respond again. Now, as we could see, as more conversation happens, there's going to be more text, aka that context window is beginning to fill up. Now, what happens when you begin nearing that context window? Essentially what's going to happen is ChatGPT begins to forget things that you are telling it. So we could see right here, once the paper is full of writing, what ends up happening is the top lines end up getting erased and only the newest lines are visible anymore. So essentially, you're throwing out some of the things that were on that piece of paper. And you need to take this into consideration when you're talking to ChatGPT. And one of the easiest ways for you to do this is to use this prompt right here. Please give me a rough calculated estimate of tokens used so far in this conversation based on the text length of all our exchanges. I would strongly suggest that you begin using this after you've been chatting with ChatGPT for a long period of time, because then it will tell you how many tokens you've used and you'll know whether or not the context window is becoming an issue, and if that's why ChatGPT 5 isn't giving you the results you want. Now, setting number 4 is going to be making sure that your memory is set up correctly. If we come over here, click on settings right here, and then come into personalization, you need to make sure that this right here is enabled. You also need to make sure that this right here is enabled. You want to make sure that you've added custom instructions in here, and come into advanced and make sure that this is enabled for new chats. And then you also need to make sure that if you come into manage memories right here, that you're constantly going through this. I wouldn't say constantly, like don't do it, multiple times a day, but I would do it once a week or once every 2 weeks in order to see what things make no sense on here. For example, this one right here, niche on Instagram is holistic health. That is not true for me. So I need to make sure that I come through here and I delete this. Or is making TikTok content about Bitcoin price increasing. I also need to make sure that it forgets that, because essentially what's happening is ChatGPT might be remembering things that you've told it that really have nothing to do with you. So it's filling up its memory with a bunch of useless stuff, and that's why it feels like ChatGPT doesn't really know you, or that ChatGPT is hallucinating, or that ChatGPT isn't actually referencing your saved memories or your chat history. It's not that it's not doing that, it's just that it's doing that for the wrong things. In addition to that, you can see right here that ChatGPT may use memory to personalize queries to search providers such as Bing. This right here is brand new. In fact, this is the first time that I've ever remembered seeing this. So you need to take this into consideration, because it might not only be what you're telling ChatGPT, but also other things that you're doing that it's remembering, it's taking into consideration, and as a result, it's skewing the results that you end up getting. Now, that last and final setting and feature that you need to be taking advantage of if you want to get the most out of ChatGPT right now is you need to make sure that you're coming into connectors right here, and you are connecting all of these different tools that you use to ChatGPT, because now if you come into each of these, what you're going to notice is that they all work with chat. Well, not all of them, but most of them. Gmail does, Google Calendar does, becoming a Canva. This also works with chat. HubSpot works with chat. So here's what I want you to think about. Now, ChatGPT is going to be able to access all the data, all the different things inside of these apps. And I want you to think about how much more powerful that makes ChatGPT if it has access to your Gmail, or to your Google Calendar, or to your Google Drive, or to your Notion, or to your Outlook calendar, or even to HubSpot, GitHub, Dropbox, and this is all now possible. In fact, ChatGPT is going to be rolling out way more connectors, and this feature in this tool is only going to keep getting more and more powerful. So please make sure you go through, you connect all of these, and to make sure that they're set up correctly, you need to make sure that when you come into connected apps and click on added source, that it says auto right here, because that means that this connector is going to be searched automatically. Otherwise, you need to explicitly state inside of the prompt that you want that connector to actually be used. And you need to make sure that you're turning all these on in order to get the most out of ChatGPT right now. Not sure if you've seen the reports yet, but Goldman Sachs just came out and said that they think in the next 12 months, AI is going to replace over 300 million jobs. So my question for you is, are you going to be one of those people that's replacing those jobs, or are you going to be one of the people that gets replaced because you didn't embrace AI? And that's exactly why I created AI Automation School that you could check out at the pinned comment below. In fact, I have special launch pricing right now. So if you want to stay ahead of what's happening in AI and you want to learn how to automate your work with AI, how to make more money with AI, how to build AI agents without knowing having to code, or you just want me to audit your personal AI workflow so we could speed things up for you, I strongly suggest that you check it out. Now, if you like this video, I'd strongly suggest check out this video right here that walks you through a brand new AI tool that allows you to build mind maps in seconds. I'll see you over there.